test the cameras. Cameras are working. And my neighbor is gone. His truck's not there. Okay, let's try this. Get this going. So, this is a test. You're hearing two different soundtracks at the same time. Maybe, with any luck at all. So where am I at? We gotta do this. And if that works, we will proceed to the next stage of this. And check you guys out again. Well, that was interesting. And here we go. I think. Maybe. With some sort of luck. Aha! Okay. Hi boys and girls, it's me Butch. My name is Terry David Silvercloud, and today is the 5th of March 2025. It's just after 5 p.m. Here in Vancouver, and I've been playing with setting up Open Broadcast Studio to get to learn how to use it. My big issue at the moment has been sound and getting everything to work at the same time. So with any luck at all, there's some music playing in the background. Not only is there some music, there's two musics. And I don't think I've made it work exactly the way I wanted yet. But we'll see. So I'll try not to make this a really long video, because I'm noted for yakking on and on and on and on and on and on. He never shuts up. I live in Canada, and right now Canada is at war with the Soviet Union south of us, who call themselves the United States. We're at war with them, and make no doubt about it, Trump has said right out loud he wants to take us over. So the number one enemy of Canada just now on the entire planet is our neighbor directly to the south. So if you're Americans watching, and I know half of my audience out there is from the rest of the world, but many of you are American. If you're LGBTQ, you're going to be in serious trouble soon, so you should seek refuge here if you have the chance now and the means. We have a severe housing shortage in our country, so if you don't have a lot of money, it's going to be difficult. Okay, so I like to entertain, and educate. So I know some of you came here to see, like, who is this weirdo? So very quickly, I get distracted easily. I'm 80 years old. I have severe health problems. I do not have AIDS. I have severe arthritis. I've been in pain management for more than 10 years. Hormone management for more than 10 years. If you see spots on my legs, that's some ingrown hair problems that were caused this past year by my hormone issues, it would appear. I think we're getting on top of them, I hope so. I'm a pretty vain kind of guy, if it isn't too obvious. I'm Butch. I'm Butch. So I have a huge ego. I try to be a nice guy. But anyhow, I take 6 heart pills a day, and I get a shot of hormones every week at the moment. And to keep busy while I'm waiting to croak, I make videos. And YouTube demonetized me because I'm not family friendly. This is my studio area over here. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to find out. So I see this is all sort of a kind of a one of my tests trying to get to learn how to use Open Broadcast Studio and improve my sound. Sound is the biggest issue. Also, my my video mixer sometimes crashes. It takes in input from HDMI and then it converts it to USB, and then that's got to be passed over to Open Broadcast. Sometimes it just doesn't work. But I hope things are working right now. And I'm going to put you back over to, let's try this camera over here for a bit. Hi. And so I went on about the fact we're at war with the United States of America, and I'm not going to go on much more about that just now. It's extraordinarily upsetting to we Canadians that our American neighbors to the south are now our enemy. It's very upsetting. We could be very, 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 very nasty. Very nasty. And we have tricks that don't necessarily involve weapons, so be afraid. Be very afraid. We have a lot of tricks. We're very smart people. Most of your entertainers and comedians, you Americans, come from Canada. You probably didn't know that, but a whole slew of them, they're Canadian. So shut up about that, Butch. And while you're here, the problem with a lot of the Americans that side with that piece of lard, Donald Trump, they call themselves Christian and devout Christians. And one of the things I've learned, I call myself godless. I'm a physicist. Very quickly, if you have to have a God, let me explain it in physics terms. First of all, you should know that none of we physicists agree with each other. We all got our own ideas. There is no answer, okay? No matter what they say, they're full of bullshit. Just, we don't have an answer. And that's that. And the best science we're using right now is called quantum physics. And Butch is into that. And a quantum is a unit of energy. It's the energy required in an atom for an electron to jump from, in hydrogen, say, especially in hydrogen, particularly in hydrogen, from one lower orbital to an actually in hydrogen that wouldn't work very well. So let's try oxygen, where there's a bunch of electrons. If it has to go one level higher, it needs a quantum of energy to do that, and it has to make a quantum leap. A quantum leap is the very tiniest, teensiest, weensiest possible leap you can possibly make in the physical, three-dimensional reality. So now you're a quantum physicist. Where were I? Totally forgot what I was talking about. I was going to give you an explanation of God. That's what it was, or something. So in a physics reality, Big Bang is just a bunch of hooey, and nobody serious believes in that. There might have been a whole lot of Big Bangs, but not a Big Bang. And if you got a God, you got to explain where God came from. So Butchie Poo is going to do that too. Except that, like your God, if you must have a God and you're a Christian, that reality just always existed. Otherwise, God couldn't exist. Now you got an answer. You know, some of these people say, well, where'd God come from? You can say, well, he just always existed, just like reality always existed, but then he created mankind. That's your story. And maybe we were made by aliens. What do I know? Or influenced by aliens. Probably were. Who knows? Who cares? I don't. I'm here, and I'm trying to upgrade your intelligence a bit and entertain you. Where were I going with this? Reality is just, it's forever, in all directions. It always existed. And it has characteristics which we are still discovering, but if you allow that reality to also have mind, and we still can't explain life. Even Butch is pretty smart, can't really explain life. I could give you probabilities based in chemistry and quantum physics, but It's difficult. I can't prove it. I wish I could. But anyhow, if all of reality possesses things, including what you call life, for your God, the I am that I am, then reality could come out of that, and the meaning of all that is that just like God is part of all of that, so are you. And that means on the technical level that you are God. God can't be everywhere all at once experientially, except by being everywhere all at once and being you and I and everywhere else. I think I really screwed that up. That's not where I was going to go with this, because I know I yak. What I prepared to do, sort of, when I go to Safeway, there's several older gentlemen that sit at a patio out there smoking cigarettes and yakking, and sometimes I talk to them, and one in particular is, he likes to hog the conversation. He's a very devout Christian, and what I've discovered with him, and like most Christians, is they haven't ever read their Bible, and there's various printings of it, and I'm not going to go into why that is, but I was pointing out to him the other day that Adam and Eve, the reason they were kicked out of the garden was so they wouldn't eat from the tree of life, and he just wasn't getting it. What I was trying to tell him is that in the Garden of Eden, if you read your book, it was a garden. There was a whole bunch of trees, and what they ate, the tree from which they ate, gave them knowledge, awareness. It suddenly separated them from being animal-like to being godlike. The beings or aliens or gods or whatever created them. This is where the concept that maybe we were created by other beings that had been around for a while just came down, and they were just monkeying around with things, and they discovered Earth and they played around, and next thing you know, here we are. Who knows? But anyhow, the reason that God, who walked around on his feet, notice it wasn't any hers, it was always him's. My eyes are really terrible. They didn't want old Adam and Eve to get hold of the tree of life, so I'm going to see if I can read this. Let's see if I can read it this way. All right. This is what God said. And the Lord God said, "The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever." So the Lord God banished him from the garden. So the objective, and this is where the Jewish people have their difference, if you didn't already know about this. See, all these religious people, they don't know dick really about their religions. The Jewish people, if they were truly Orthodox Jewish, when you're dead, you're dead. It's over. That's because God, way back in Adam and Eve times, said, no afterlife for you. And then Jesus came along with a really good con line for the people who don't think too much and ask too many questions. And he said, I can save you all. God decided to have me like as a real kid, and if I just die, or if I come down and do it, and you believe in me, then you can live forever. Wouldn't that be cool? Go Jesus, right? So that was Jesus' line, that he was a son of God. Now the Christians, who don't really bother to read their Bibles very much, failed to have read the 10 Commandments, apparently, because in the 10 Commandments, commandment number 1, that's the very first one, la première commandment is thou, that's you, me, shall have no, that means none, zero, nada, other, anybody, gods. Who is this Jesus person anyway? Before me. You can't. That's it. I'm God. And rule number 2, you cannot make any signs, symbols, or what we called in the olden days graven images and worship them. You just can't. That's the second commandment. I know you're a Christian, you read it, right? So Christianity on its very basis is illegal from the point of view of the Old Testament, the Jewish point of view. Now you Christians know, if you didn't, why the Jewish people think you're all wacko. And sort of similar for, the Muslims. Who is this Muhammad dude? I will point out for the religious types who study this kind of stuff that one of the things Butch has noticed, because Butch studies stuff, is that the Holy of Holies in the first and second temples of the Jewish people was a cube. It was 20 cubits by 20 cubits by 20 cubits, which was about 30 feet by 30 feet. It was a cube. And what's really interesting about that, because I'm into physics and quantum physics and all that, is that if you draw an X on every surface of a cube, you will outline a 3-dimensional Star of David, which is called the Merkaba star. Merkaba seem to be words that come from ancient Egyptian, meaning light, soul, and body, that kind of stuff. It's the Kaaba. It's called the Kaaba. I'm just saying. What I don't know. I'm like Socrates, I know nothing. I ask a lot of questions. I talk a lot. I can be very annoying to some people. And that's Butch. So, have I talked long enough? I do not know. Mostly wanted to check out making this, let's go over to here. I'm really working on my sound, and I'm in really bad health. No matter what you're seeing here, I could just go like that, and if I don't, I'm having a lot of problems with MAID, which is medical, where they're supposed to help me croak. I've told them I want to hang on till October, but I'm hearing nothing from them. I'm really upset because, if they're not going to help me, I have to make plans to become a missing person and kill myself. I suffer. Every day I suffer. I hurt all the time. Right now I'm doing pretty good. I hope things will be better in the summer, and I'm back on hormone therapy, so I'm hoping I'm going to feel better, but the last couple of months have been, I don't want to be alive kind of days. That's what it's been. So, did I teach you Christians a thing or two? To the Muslim folk, I don't have much to say to you, really. Another day for you guys. Oh, that's what I was going to say, and I forgot. I was talking about the what was in common with the Muslim folk and the Jewish people. The Kaaba is a cube. Kaaba, it's a cube, and it was pretty much the same size as the Holy of Holies in the Jewish first and second temples. And nobody knows for certain who built the Kaaba, but it's believed to have been built in around the 4th or the 5th century by an oasis called Zamzam. And there's a good possibility it may have been built by very early Orthodox Jewish people who escaped the slaughter a couple hundred years earlier when Rome tried to kill off all the Jews. And they thought they finished them off when they wiped out the people from whom the Dead Sea Scrolls arrived. The last of them holed up in the hills, and the Romans, they had time and money, and they just spent 2 years building a ramp up the mountain where these people were hiding out, and then once the ramp was built, they just marched up and killed everybody. And a lot of them just jumped off cliffs, but that's where the Dead Sea Scrolls come from. Have I talked long enough? So I'm testing out the sound. I hope it's okay, so I'm going to shut up. I encourage you all to exercise. You know, I'm in great shape. If I didn't have arthritis and heart failure and all that old age sucky stuff, I use these things. These are 15 pounders. Don't do this at home, kids. Start with lighter ones. Butch is used to these suckers. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything. I'm finding that the combination of all the different drugs I have to take are making me even more wacko. And you know, you get wacko when you get old anyway. Well, I'm getting more wacko and I'm noticing. So Butch is going to sit down. I do that, don't I? Feel good. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to put my headphones on. Here we go. Oh good, there's music. What am I hearing? Oh, isn't that sweet? Okay, now I gotta put my glasses on. So I told you I'm testing the open broadcast system. This is very hard, I get echo. I'm gonna have to do it this way. I'm testing the open broadcast system, and I'm just mostly checking out the sound, and one of the soundtracks, if we're seeing it on your screen, which I think we are, it's live on the internet right now. We're listening to Pale Blue Dot, full release, and on top of that I have another soundtrack running, and I'll put what I can all down in the descriptions down below. So Butch is going to sign out here somehow, one way or another, he thinks, and I'll be back again, yakking on about something or other. I enjoy your likes. I can't remember, you know, I'd like to say hi to everybody, and then my mind's like, who should, Muhammad is a real regular. Hi, Muhammad. And I'll have to make a little list of some people. Hi, thanks. I don't do social media. I just don't. I'm old, and thanks for everything, but I just keep him busy. I'm looking for something on my screen here, and my brain is not functioning, I think, the way I should. Well, this would be a way to wind out. So what I'll do is I'm going to give you a really trippy screen, and then I'm going to fade away to somewhere. So thanks for coming. Bye from Butch. I love the likes. If you want to give me a dislike, tell me why. Why you give me a dislike? Give me a like. It helps the algorithm. So if my bad teeth are showing, sorry, I'm waiting for the government to help me pay for them. I don't know, they want a fortune now, so I can't afford it. Here we go. I'm going to say bye again. Bye.